Hello, my name is Neil Gonzalez, and I directed the film opening titled Restless. So before I get into the reflection questions, I would like to talk about the ride, I guess you would say, to where I am now and to the film that I made. So, I came up with the film by I'm very interested in asylums and mental issues, euthanasia, all like that dark stuff. I just think it's so cool, and I couldn't really do anything on an asylum budget and time and whatnot, but I could do something simple like what I did. Very minimal set, and it's very short, and I used just my friend's home and the outside of her home, and I used my friend, and finding the actor was a little bit difficult. I am involved in theater. I have been in musicals and been singing for a long time, so I was going to use one of my acting friends to help me out. But the thing was, there's a really big competition the week that I had a film, and I had to use non-actors. So the one I have is a little awkward in the film, you can see, and he's not very used to acting. But I'm very grateful that he was able to help me out, and he did convey the character in a good way. So that was one of my problems, was finding an actor to do it with me. And I did find an actress that was an actor, but she couldn't do it because she couldn't go to a home, and that was a primary setting for my film. Another thing, when you watch the film, you'll see it is a little short. I'm not very happy about that. It's supposed to be a 2-minute film. It's 1 minute and 29 seconds, I believe. And the reason for this is because, first, I did the film, and it was 2 minutes long. But the thing was, the opening was very awkward. It was this dialogue scene between the main character and my friend, who actually, that's the house I used, was her house. But the thing was a very awkward scene, and there's just some things that were not conveyed how I wanted it to be throughout the film. I didn't really like it, it didn't really work. I tried to make it work, but it would only be 1 minute 30 seconds, so I decided to refilm. And I did refilm, and it was going great. But the thing was, the boy who's the actor, his dad came to pick him up early, and he's very strict, and my friend had to leave right before we filmed a scene that connected like 30 seconds of the piece. So I had to cut out a huge chunk, and I made it work. I had to change actually a little bit of the story, because it had this scene where the boy finds out that he looks at the email of an invitation to the rehabilitation clinic, and he freaks out. He packs his clothes and he rushes out and he leaves, and then he's going to put the bag in his car and then run, and that's where the bridge scene, when you watch the video, if you haven't already, I had to change that whole part. He doesn't even leave the house. He's looking at the computer, reading the message. He's like freaking out, and in that freak out, I cut away to events of him sitting on a bridge and contemplating his life and his sadness and throwing stones and getting frustrated. And that scene was supposed to be when he leaves and then he realizes that he's not okay, and then he comes back. But the thing was, I couldn't shoot him putting the backpack in his car because my friend whose car it was taking a shower, and I couldn't just take her keys and do the scene without her consent. So I wasn't able to, and that's why I had to cut out 40 seconds, and I couldn't get that time back. I couldn't film with him again, so that's why it's a little short, and it's a lot better than what I had before, and I couldn't incorporate that film. I tried, but it was very awkward, so that's why the time is short, and I'm very sorry about that. I tried, but yeah, I'm very sorry. So that's another roadblock, I guess you could say, that I had in filming. Yeah, so now I'm going to get started on the rest of my reflection. So this my film challenges conventions because it is about, so in today's society, you don't really see too much help for people with mental illnesses, and it's not very great. Like, especially in political debates, you don't see Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton discussing about what they're going to do about people with mental issues. There's not a lot of help for them, especially teenagers. A lot of people think, oh, they're just like crazy teenage angst, and it's a problem that is going unnoticed a lot. And especially he's a boy in my film, and boys are supposed to be in our society tough and not crying. They're not supposed to cry, and they're supposed to be very independent. And here we see a boy that's very weak and upset, and I think, like, if it's a girl and they're upset, then I feel like there'd be more attention on that rather than a boy. So that's another way how my film challenges conventions. And you see with the song and with him in his house, he's very alone. He doesn't have anyone to talk to. And as a teenager, that's, teenagers have friends to lean on. And he doesn't really have anyone, as shown in this 1 minute and 30-second clip. This also represents social groups and the issues that these people face who have disabilities and mental disabilities. And as I have shown in the video, there's not really a clear idea of what he has. Like, you just see that it's clear that he's messed up, but you don't see exactly what he has. And that is for a reason, because a lot of people too aren't diagnosed, and they're like, there's something's wrong, but since they don't have a name or something like that, then they don't get help either. A lot of people aren't diagnosed, especially as a teenager. It's very important at that age. So that is another thing that I hope I got across in my film. And yeah, okay, next one. Okay, my product engages with audiences because I feel like, especially adults and mothers, and I want to reach older people, because that's the people who can take these children to get help, because people their age can't do as much as an adult can. And I want adults to feel like an maternal instinct, like that child needs help, and maybe that will get them to think about their children and think about what if they're going through this, what if they needed help, and maybe that will get them to reach out to facilities and donate money to raise more attention for people with mental issues. And I feel it also engages audiences because a lot of the places where I was filming was very pretty, like the bridge and the fountain, like by the lake. And I try to make it also aesthetically pleasing, so it will catch people's eye and be like, oh, that's a pretty place, but they'll also pay attention to the story and what's going on. And yeah, so I hope that that's a way that I engage my audience. And I feel if this was a real movie and I finished it and it was more than 1 minute and 30 seconds long, I feel like it would be distributed by, like, okay, so on Twitter, you always see right now women's rights is a big thing, thank goodness, and feminism, and so now we see more videos come up on YouTube, like 15-minute short films about to raise awareness for feminism and women's rights. And I feel, and that's how I would distribute my media text. I would try to put it on Twitter and Instagram and all the other social medias. I've already put on YouTube, but YouTube, and just try to make it surface so that people can see what goes through people's minds. I mean, I know I didn't convey it as well because it's 1 minute 30 seconds as I could have, and if it was longer I would make sure it was more apparent what they're going through, especially when I honed in on a specific illness that he had. And so yeah, I would distribute it on social media so that more people can see it, and maybe even have it be for an organization. So like if they watch the video, like every time you watch the video, $1 is donated toward $1 is donated toward an organization that helps kids, teenagers, even adults with their abilities. Because I know another thing that made me go that route with the rehabilitation clinic is my uncle. He had issues and with like drugs, and he tried to go to, well, my family put him on a waiting list for a rehabilitation clinic, and they never got back to us in time. So one day my grandparents found him and he died of an overdose. And it's just, there's not enough opportunities out there. That was months after we signed him up for it. So it's stuff like that. Everyone deserves to have help. They shouldn't be put on a waiting list to get help. They need it right away. And I feel like that's something to be emphasized with in media, and there needs to be more videos like mine that focuses on people with illnesses, that's to surface on the media to get more attention toward it. My production skills developed a lot throughout this project. This is my first film all by myself. I've worked with a film with other people, but they were very hands-on, and I didn't do as much as I should have to prep myself for this film. So I had to learn very quickly. I haven't really used iMovie that much before, or really anything I use. So the first media or like software I used would be, well, here, let's talk about production first. So that's really, I was going into the next question. So my production skills. Filming, as you might can tell in the video, it was my first time filming. I think I did a pretty good job for my first time. I had to take a couple takes though because my hands are shaky, and I kept like cutting people's heads off or missing something, and sometimes I was not the best filmer, but I would do multiple takes, and it taught me how to be patient. That was a production skill that I developed with the project, because in film and in like with movies and TV shows, you need a lot of patience because it takes years to make a film, and it takes a lot of takes to make clips in TV shows and film alike. So that was a skill I definitely developed. Coordination with my hands while filming. I had a like focus to make sure I wasn't shaking, and I got a lot better at editing. When I was on iMovie, I tried the different things. I had different versions of my film, and that's like I would try different editing skills, and then I would tell people which one do you like better, and that also helped me with my eye, with like, okay, this looks better, this looks better. And that's another production skill that I developed for this project. So I got a lot better, I believe, through this project. I think if I ever do a film again, that it will be a lot better, because my production skills definitely have increased and improved, and I am very happy about that. So here, the next question: how did you integrate technology, software, hardware, and online in this project? So now I'll go through what I did. Okay, so the first thing that I did is that involved technology and software. Well, as you know, I made a blog, and I would do 2 blogs a week on different things to get me into it. Like would have a blog on who my focus groups were. I would have a blog on who, like, my primary and secondary source, like what's it called, primary and secondary audience. I would have a blog on storyboard, and with that, there's this website you use called storyboardthat.com. It's a really good website. It helped me organize my ideas, and yes, I didn't use all the ideas that I had, like the exact storyline, but it did get me focused and help me write a script, which I used Google Docs to write the script so that I could share with people and see what they think, and they could edit it. Another technology I used, I already talked about iMovie. iMovie was very, very helpful. I also used, I think it's called Purple Planet. That was had royalty-free songs on it, and I used one for my film, which was awesome. I love Purple Planet. It was my friend. That song worked perfectly with my film, and it was really good. Let's see. Oh, and the camera. I used a camera, Canon. I don't know the specific name off the top of my head, but I did use a Canon. Very simple, not too many features, but it was very helpful, and it had pretty good quality, I believe. On when I uploaded on YouTube, it was pretty good quality, and because I saw a lot of other people try to do that, and it was very blurry, so compared to them, mine was pretty good. So that's how I integrated technologies in my project. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry that's 1 minute 30 seconds, but thank you so much. Bye.